right, here we are again with another edition of the Singletrack Session on the TrailManners podcast. It's Singletrack Session number 103. And got a few things to cover, but I think everybody's mind right now is across the pond, or however people like to say that.
Right. Well, if you're referring to France, do you still say across the pond?
I don't know. I know it's like England. I hear that a lot. Across the it's still,
right.
If it's a pond to England, would it be a pond to France too, though?
I don't know. We'll have to have somebody clarify that.
So somebody that's really smart geographically, go ahead and
that's Europhile savvy
and nicely let us know,
right,
and not treat us like we don't know, because
right.
we do know that the French invented the French toast and the French fry. We at least know that.
Yeah, those are yummy, especially French fries.
But yeah, so a little weekend. It doesn't look like, I haven't seen you since last week, and you walked in. It doesn't look like you found my hat in the Tetons.
Oh shit, I forgot to look for that. So, I'm sorry. I was a little focused on something else.
Whatever.
I didn't see it on the trail, at least. Okay. How's that?
Well,
the parking lot was actually quite full.
I think if it was in the parking lot after 2 weeks, it would have ended up in the garbage.
Probably.
I just think if someone would have been nice enough to put it on a post, after like a couple days or a week.
I didn't see that. It wasn't like obvious by the bathroom or the trailhead.
I've been looking on eBay.
Yeah, I'm sure you have.
And then no one's putting there. Looked on Craigslist.
Yeah.
Got into a weird room on that one that I got out of pretty quick. Yeah. But yeah, like I lost my trucker and I got into some weird chats there. But yeah, so you went to the Tetons this past weekend.
Yeah. Quick trip.
Yeah, and I asked you on the elevator ride up to run, and you said kinda.
Kind of. Yeah, I ran a little bit.
It's because it's August.
Yes,
and
it still is August.
It's still August, and you hit snow.
Yeah, we got snowed out.
That's so cool.
It was cool, but we didn't make it because we got snowed out.
Yeah.
So that was the smart thing to do.
Yeah.
Was to turn around at that point. The route we were going to do is notorious for a lot of loose rocks on the middle Teton, and it was snowing. It was really windy at one point. And there was rain. We saw this really big rock come tumbling down the snowfield we just crossed. And at that point, we're like, we're done.
We're out.
Hightailing out of here.
So what was the planned route / mileage stuff?
The plan was to go do the southwest couloir on the middle Teton.
Okay.
Come back down to the saddle between the middle Teton and the south Teton, then go over and go up the south Teton as well.
So what would that be, just if you're like a round trip and I'm guessing?
14 to 15 miles round trip.
Okay.
Yeah,
a lot of vert.
8,000 feet of climbing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep, it was beautiful, even though we got rained out and snowed out.
That'd be kind of cool, though, being August coming from, blistering heat.
The death
of
us.
Say it's snowing.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. By the time we got back down to the car, it was nice and sunny. But then when we left the parking lot to go get a burrito, it just looked ominous again.
Really?
Yeah.
So how many miles did you end up with?
11.
That's not too bad.
No, it's not too bad. 11 miles and 3,000, a little over 3,000 feet.
Was it still pretty?
Oh, gosh, yeah. It's gorgeous.
Tetons.
Oh, yeah. I mean, when we rolled in Saturday, the smoke was so thick you couldn't see the mountains. You could taste it.
Oh, my gosh.
It was awful. We spent the night at the Climbers Ranch, which I've never been to before.
Yeah.
I've never had a need to because, when I lived there,
you had a house.
Yeah, I had a house. But the Climbers Ranch is really cool.
Is it?
Yes.
So you went in Saturday morning?
Saturday night. We got there 7:30.
Okay.
Got to the Climbers Ranch, got checked in, ate a little bit, and just went to bed. Got up early and hit the trailhead.
Home?
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow. Quick trip.
It was a quick trip, yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool, though, still getting into some snow right now. I know it's kind of ruined the route, but...
That's okay. It'll still be there next time we go back.
Yeah. That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
And you had your apparel check, right?
Yeah.
So you had a jacket that worked.
Jacket that worked. Pants that were really not meant for rainy, snowy conditions.
Yeah.
Gloves that were not meant for snowy conditions at all. What else did I take? Oh, that pack, the Momentum pack from Ultra Aspire.
Okay.
I really pushed the limit of it for, carrying capacity.
Oh, gotcha. Stuffing it.
Yeah, but it worked great.
Nice.
I did not use the Steri-Pin. I took a chance. And hopefully I'll be okay.
We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out
That's
soon.
How it works.
Yeah.
Well, it worked for me, that Steri-Pin, because I actually was watching the calendar.
Right. You're past, right?
Yeah, but it was kind of funny. I had a kind of a bad bout with something.
Yeah, you did.
Like food or something at one point, and I'm like, no way.
Right.
I'm like, this can't be, because I've never had Giardia or anything that bad. But it wasn't. It was a false alarm.
Right.
So, or maybe I just have a super strong immune system.
The weather forecast for the Tetons for actually Jackson that day was gorgeous.
Yeah. but then you kind of get up to, like you said, 10,000 feet, though.
Yeah, it changed. Like, we got to the Climbers Ranch, and the forecast there was like, okay, deteriorating weather conditions throughout the day. I'm like, crap, because I wasn't prepared for that.
Yeah. What time did you guys start?
4:20 in the morning, 4:15 in the morning.
And how long would it take you just with all the weather?
I thought it was going to, oh, man, it took us 5 hours round trip. The route past the meadows. So the boulder field and the meadows are like the first big landmark you get to when you're going up into the Tetons to climb. And navigated the boulder field like a champ. Sometimes I'm high or low on that. This time nailed it straight through and got to the meadows. And I'm like, well, where the hell are the meadows? Because the meadows are usually this lush green place with all this water and there's campsites. What was buried under 4 feet of avalanche debris from last year still.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, it was crazy. So, yeah, we got to that just as the sun was coming up, and we were a little bit nervous of walking across that snowfield because there is a bunch of creeks underneath it. So we kind of skirted it, and that threw us off route. We didn't hit the right path. And when you're up in that area, you're just navigating this horrendous big boulder scree area, and it takes you a little while to find the right path. And once you're on the path, you're like constantly looking for cairns. And the cairns aren't like these big ones. They're like maybe 2 or 3 rocks.
Gotcha.
And you hike, and you're up, and you're like looking around. You're like, oh, there it is, and you're just following the cairns the whole way up.
Connect the dots.
Yeah. But then when the snow came through, you're like, yeah, I can't see anything. Man, it was cool.
Where did you start? Like, what's the trailhead?
Lupin Meadows.
Oh, Lupin Meadows.
Yeah.
Is it Lupin or Lupine, or what is it?
Either's fine. How's that?
Okay, that works. I'm just not native, so I don't want to offend
Lupin
anybody.
Meadows.
Okay, Lupin. I like that.
Just like here, it's like Hurricane instead of Hurricane.
Hooper.
Yeah.
Hooper. Layton.
Yeah.
All our fun places.
Right.
Well, that's cool. I was in Colorado this last weekend, and let me tell you something.
That's right. You went to Dave Matthews.
Dave Matthews, 2 nights in a row. So me and my daughter drove out there on Friday morning. Kind of got there, found something to eat. Man, I had a really super duper good beer from Minnesota, but I can't remember what it is. So I've been on the search to remember the name. It was amazing. And then we went to the concert the first night, which was unbelievable. And then we kind of hung out the next day, had a great concert the next night. But it was kind of funny because of the marijuana usage.
Lots of it, huh? 1 or 2 joints?
It was unbelievable.
Really?
Like, it was unbelievable. I felt bad for a lot of people just for the simple fact that there's kids there, like my daughter, but there was like an infant, like 7 months old.
Okay, you shouldn't take an infant to the Dave Matthews concert.
Well, I agree. And they had headphones on. It was cute. They sat in the very, very
that's
back.
cute, but don't do that. Come on,
but
folks.
It was just unbelievable. Like, my daughter kept going, and people were smoking cigarettes, too, right? And it's like just nasty, you know. And you're in this big area, a lot of people. You're outside, thank goodness. But, but I kept smelling marijuana all night, and I kept looking down at my daughter. I'm like,
she's rolling one.
Yeah, right? And I'm like, oh.
She's a Colorado native.
And she kept going, oh, man, I can't believe people are vaping. And I'm like, yep, that's what it is. It's vaping, you know. So that happened the first night. Then the second night, we got in a different group of people. Right. And they were right next to us, just lighting it hard,
just burning it all night.
And every once in a while, when the big lights would come on from the stage, I mean, it was like a forest fire in the stadium. It was so smoky. It's like every single person here is
just rolling that contact high.
So after the show was over, we were walking back. And I'm looking at my daughter, and she goes, yeah, those people right next to us, they were smoking vaping and stuff. I'm like, no, that was marijuana. No, she said they were smoking those cigarettes. I'm like, yeah, that was marijuana.
Those joints.
So she got her first
good
recognition of marijuana, which was kind of funny. But, it was an amazing weekend. Had a blast with my daughter. Right on. So fun. Scott Jaime and his wife were there the first night.
Whoa, did you actually see him?
No, we just got a text. We got a text from her. She goes, are you at the concert? And I'm like, yep. She goes, this is 10 minutes from our house. I'm like, cool, you know? Yeah. And then the next night she texts, she goes, are you at the RSL game? Because Real Salt Lake played Colorado in Colorado. And I'm like, no, we're still at
Still at Dave Matthews trying to find our way out.
Yeah, it's been 2 days. We're just walking around, tripping on stuff. But RSL beat Colorado 6-0.
Oh,
so
I saw that score.
I texted her some crap on that.
Right.
Never heard back. But
of course not.
Yeah, it was a fun weekend. Kind of culminated my summer. I've been gone almost every weekend.
Yeah.
This was kind of the granddaddy weekend. And we had a great time. So now I'm back.
Mm-hmm.
And now I got to start running again.
Well, why? I mean, are you going to Do you have a race coming up?
Well, I got suckered into pacing next weekend at Wasatch.
Did you really?
I did.
I am so sorry.
I was 100% not pacing crewing on that.
Right.
And then I got a last-minute text from Jim Skaggs.
And
one of his
desperately.
pacers fell through.
Did they?
But I'm and it kind of sucks, too. I'm taking from Lambs to Brighton. So I got to do... Yeah, but I got to go up the road. And I hate that section,
right.
You know, from once you go over Bear Ass Pass, come down,
yeah,
head the road
that's
up.
a good section.
That is. And then after you leave the road, it's pretty good.
It is.
But we'll be at night, so it's not going to be able to see anything.
True.
But yeah, it'll be fun. And then the road from Scotts to Brighton, that's downhill and windy.
That's terrible. I don't like that section.
Yeah, so I got suckered into that. 22 miles, I think, is what it is. And
right.
now I got to figure out transportation to and from, because they have the rules at Lambs. You know, it's like you have to have a card.
Oh, that's right.
And then you check in somewhere, and they give you the pass there.
Right.
30 minutes after your runner leaves.
Alexander? No.
Ant Knolls. Nope.
Okay.
Nope. What's the hot one after Lambs? Yeah, Alexander,
yeah.
Yeah, so once they leave there. So got to figure that out, and, yeah, so it'll be next weekend.
Oh.
Well, yeah, next weekend.
Have fun.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I kind of felt bad, but had to move some things around, but it'll be all right, I guess.
Right.
Jim's had a big year coming back from his injury, so it'll be fun to help him in any way possible to get to the finish, since that's kind of his race.
It is his race.
I think this will be his 8th finish, I think, this year.
I think so, too.
And he's going for 10, so getting closer. And then, I guess we could kind of talk about what's going on.
Okay.
Well, there's just, we'll start with the new Appalachian Trail FKT.
Yeah, that was fast.
Just happened this week. A dentist from Belgium broke it.
Yeah.
I'll say Karel, Karel. It's
okay.
Karel or Karel.
Close enough.
Sabbe, Sabbe.
I like those cars. Those were good cars
we'll
back in the day.
Well, he also has the supported PCT record.
Wow.
2016, 52 days, 8 hours, and 25 minutes.
This guy's legit.
Yeah, he is legit. And so this year he did the AT, and that one,
42
he broke
hours?
it by like
42
4
days?
days or something like that.
42 days, something like that?
41 days, 7 hours, 39 minutes.
That is amazing.
2,189 miles. The previous record was set just last year. 45 days, 12 hours, and 15 minutes. So essentially broken by 4 days.
I wonder if somebody's going to get under 40 days. That'll be the next kind of like.
I think it will.
Holy grail, right?
I mean, he's off it by what, a day and a half?
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, really a day and 7 hours. 7 hours don't count for very long when you're doing days.
No.
So yeah, I mean, you got to cut it by a day.
Right.
And I don't know why it wouldn't break. I mean, good dude's 28. And there's a lot of good discussion going on through social media, because Karel belted it out first, congratulating him, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, even though Karel's record's been broken a few times. But
right.
Karel said, yeah, under 40. He goes, he knew someone could go that low if everything went, not injuries, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And kind of also mentioned that, you know, the next thing's going to be under 40, and then after that it's going to be out and back.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's over 4,300 miles. But yeah, it's like one direction turn, come straight back. So I'm like, well, it wouldn't surprise me.
That's a lot of planning.
Well, and it was interesting too. There was a lot of buzz. No, I'm talking no pun intended, because Buzz Burrell brought it up through. He's ultimate direction guy, been in the game for a long time, but saying how, because people were saying, I don't see this guy's ultra running results. He's only done like 2 races according to Ultra Sign Up, UTMB and something else. And you know, Buzz chimed in and says ultra running and FKTs are different.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, they're not the same thing.
Right.
You know, you got trail runners doing ultras, and you got, you know, not to say they're not trail runners, but it's a different.
Like through hikers.
Yeah, it's a different thing you're working on.
Yeah.
It's like something completely different. So it's like you're going to get more of these FKT types and not racers.
Right.
Because you look at some of them that have done it in the past, and they weren't trail runners. They were through hikers.
Yeah.
Efficient.
They're still moving fast.
Yeah, super efficient, man. Like, it blows my mind to be even thinking about how fast that really is. I mean, 40-something days. Oh, my gosh. Back-to-backs make me tired.
Yeah.
Back-to-back long runs, let alone.
Yeah, they're doing days. Like 40, 50-mile-an-hour
days,
right?
Yeah, you have to, you know, to get that in. So, you know, congratulations to him for doing that. That's pretty phenomenal. And so moving on from that, we'll have a link in the show notes if you want to check that out, to a little write-up on that. But, yeah, our buddy Killian he called me and he's like, "Hey, I've been listening to the show.
Right.
You guys keep talking about taper up.
Yeah.
I've come off a broken leg. So
got a big race this weekend.
Got a big race, so I think taper up might be my route.
Yeah.
So he went ahead and tapered up.
He did.
Last weekend, the week before UTMB, and he's still favored. I don't care what you say. But I'm gonna slaughter this. It was in Italy.
Oh, is that Kima?
Kima.
Yeah.
Kima. Kima Trophy. Super technical.
Yeah.
52K. Right?
Yeah.
13,800 feet of climbing.
That's a lot.
It only happens every other year.
Right.
It doesn't happen every year. And there's fixed chains
Yes.
on the course. Like, there's a picture. I've seen pictures of people holding with gloves and all kinds of stuff. So he went out and decided to win that.
Yeah. Did he set a new course record?
He did.
Yeah.
He was kind of feeling frisky that day, so he set a course record in 6:09.
The week before, a 100-mile race.
before UTMB, the big one, he decided to taper up. So, and then on the women's side, Hillary Girardi from the U.S., she won.
Right.
In 7:37, a minute back of the course record for the ladies, and she won Tromsø as well this year. So, Killian is rested.
Yes.
And primed.
He's ready to go.
He's ready to roll. He's probably testing out some new stuff.
He is.
It's like, I better try these shoes out before I run UTMB in them, put my name on them. But a quick little asterisk for those that aren't familiar with the show, Killian did not call me. That was made up. But I'm sure he wanted to.
He had a pleasant dream.
Yeah. He's
he
like,
called you.
Taper up. I'm like, that's what we practice. So if he wins UTMB, it's just more data for our taper up documentation. Right? So we'll have plenty of stuff on that. So I just don't get it, man. Like I don't get it.
He's amazing.
He is. And as we speak, so we're talking here on Wednesday, and we haven't seen the results on the women's side.
Right.
But TDS is complete, so it's another one of those granddaddies with CCC, OCC, UT, all the initial races.
Is there MCC?
There's probably an MC Hammer. There's all kinds of stuff, but there's a ton of these races. So today was TDS that we're recording this show, and it was pretty fun to watch. And I can't. Man, I was just rooting for Dylan Bowman.
He was off the front running hard.
Man.
And did you listen to some of the commentary?
I didn't.
Yeah, they got this live commentary you can listen to, and I listened to it for a little while, and it was really good. I was surprised I enjoyed it that much.
Was it like NASCAR commentary?
Kind of.
Yeah?
Yeah. Cool. It was pretty good. I mean, except for the slow rolling. But
right? Nothing's happened.
Over the course of 10 hours.
But, so Poland's Marcin, give it a shot. Swierick, he won in 13:24. Okay, Dylan was 62 seconds behind him.
Yep.
And then third place was from Russia, Dmitry. Took third,
Russian.
41 seconds. Jill doesn't like the Russians.
No.
He finished 41 seconds behind Dylan. So the top three finished within like 2 minutes of each other.
That's amazing.
That's unbelievable for a mile, 13 hours.
Yeah,
right?
For how far is the TDS? Like 75 miles, something like that?
I don't even know.
I think it is.
But it's far enough that it takes, it's probably 13 hours.
Yeah.
It's probably right in there somewhere. It's probably some weird K distance.
I think it's more than 100K. It's like 120K or something like that.
Okay. But 13:24, top three separated by 2 minutes.
Amazing.
Crazy stuff. Also did see a little quote here from our friend Hayden Hawks. It didn't go. He had to swallow his pride and take a DNF for the first time, he said. An old injury that had him out for a couple months, flared up, where he was having a hard time with one leg, and with 45 miles to go.
It is hard to run on one leg.
I've never tried it.
It's hard.
So, smart move.
Peg legging it is very difficult.
On technical stuff.
Yes, it is.
I mean, especially when you don't have poles.
I know.
Like kind of keeping you upright. But a smart move. DNFs are hard, especially for probably somebody that caliber that's never DNF, trained so hard for it.
And that was his A race for the year.
Yeah, and so it was a smart move because he was in UTMB, then got out of UTMB, and it was probably a smart move.
Yeah.
Not doing UTMB,
right.
And a smart move to withdraw from the race. And I just hope he takes time now.
He needs to
heal.
I mean, we've talked
somehow,
about it
because I know it's an old injury.
Mm-hmm.
It flared up, so I mean, I don't know if this is something that's just going to be happening all the time. I don't know exactly what it is, or maybe he needs some stretching.
He needs to come back to the States, settle down, get into his training again.
Good rhythm. Sleep in the same bed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because sleeping in. So that's one thing, and I'm going to break off right here because I've had back problems all summer.
All winter, summer?
So, yeah, my whole life. All summer's been really bad, and I think I figured it out. It's because I've been sleeping on in a tent, in a car, hotel bed here, another car, another. I mean, I've been
all over.
Yeah,
less than
my
ideal.
My neck doesn't turn right anymore. So, man, I can imagine that has something to do with Hayden. Yeah, it's got to be that. It's got to be.
Well, I'd like to see him come back healthy, and then maybe qualify for Western States next year.
Yeah, come home this winter.
Yeah,
just relax, take some R&R.
Yeah,
go back to what you love. Don't train for anything, and
crush it next year.
Yeah, I mean, really, because he's capable of doing it. You just hate to see, because we've seen it, other runners, obviously. Right. We just hate to see runners get injured. What else did we have? There's quite a few. Cascade Crest was this weekend.
Oh, that's right.
That was a good one. Jesse Lang.
That's a 100-miler for those who don't know.
Cascade Crest 100. Jesse Lang won it for the men, and Yitka Wynn for the ladies.
I think she's a writer for Trail Runner magazine.
Is she?
I think so, yeah.
That's awesome. Love to see people do that, that are involved in what they do. But that's to another level, right? 100 milers. That's an ultra. They're not hundos, by the way. They're 100 milers. So let's get back into UTMB.
Yep.
Okay. So
who's dropped out?
Well, we'll start with the ladies.
Okay.
And to me, is the most notable drop of the race. Defending champion Nuria Pikas from Spain dropped out with injury.
That's too bad, because she was definitely hands down the person I think would win.
Yeah, she was from last week. She was my favorite.
Yeah.
So you still have Caroline Chavarot.
Yep.
After that, Claire Gallagher's in there.
I think that Claire's going to have a pretty good shot.
I would say, because another third-place finisher last year, Christelle Bard, she won't start because of injury either.
Oh, man.
She finished third last year, so she's out. I think that's it on the women's side, kind of the quote-unquote notables.
Right.
Because still got Magda, Casey.
Right. Stephanie.
And also there's a late addition. Kat Bradley is now in UTMB. Yeah.
Like the full UTMB, not like CCC. Huh.
No, she's in the UTMB.
Okay, so that just threw a big wrench into everything.
Yeah, right. So
I kind of don't want to see your race.
Yeah.
Huh.
Why? Injury?
Yeah.
Too much?
I'm afraid for her.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't get me wrong. I love seeing her race because she's awesome, but I think it's too soon.
We're gonna find out.
Dang.
She's in.
Yeah.
She was supposed to run Western States this year, as everybody knows, but she was a late do not start for some physical issues.
Yeah. She burned herself out.
And she had fatigue and a back injury.
Right.
But she's ready to get after it.
That's cool, man.
So,
she can do it and be healthy. Awesome.
Yep. Maybe that's pulling out of Western States. She got it together, and now she can get it. I hope it doesn't set her back again.
Right.
But to each their own. Everybody knows their body, hopefully, better than we do, and they can push it a little bit. So that's kind of the big notables and the dropping in one addition.
Right.
So I think it's because of the fact that Nuria, and I'm saying that wrong, and I apologize, but you know who I'm talking about.
Right.
That she dropped out, to me, just opens everything up.
Oh, for sure.
She would have been, to me, the leader, right? Kind of setting the pace, setting the tone, knowing the course. Now you've got some very talented women and some that are very inexperienced on the course.
Right.
So for the ladies, it's going to be fun to watch.
And you got to remember, this race starts later.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
It's not like a 6 a.m. starter. They start
in the afternoon.
Afternoon or evening, depending on the weather conditions.
Yeah.
That throws a big wrench in everybody's.
It's different,
right?
And if you've never run a race like that, like remember when we did Turtles races last year? It was just a small one. Like,
but
we started at noon. We were like, we woke up.
You're like,
what do we do?
What do I do?
Do I eat?
I don't want to eat too much.
Do I use the restroom?
Right.
Do I drink coffee at 11?
Damn right you do.
Do I hydrate? I mean, I didn't know what to do. But a big race like this, plus all the anxiety, because you're starting to see more and more pictures come into the scene.
Yeah.
You're starting to see more and more, like these sponsored athletes are attending signings and panels. And it is a big freaking deal.
There was an interview with Walmsley. Iron Far did an interview with him, and he said, this year I actually have a schedule.
Oh, right.
Like last year, he was double booking himself. He was totally winging it, double booking. He goes, I have a schedule this year, so there's less stress. I don't double book myself. He seems so much more calm this year.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, and it's funny. I've been kind of following a lot. I've been like hitting links all over the place. Thank goodness they've not corrupted my computer, but UTMB talk.
Yeah.
And I was really surprised at all the Jim Walmsley naysayers. Like, that surprised me.
Well,
there were so
happened
many.
right before Western States, right?
It was so many, and they're like, this isn't Jim Walmsley race. That's what people kept saying.
It totally can be his race.
He's a hot, fast, it's like he likes heat, he likes fast.
Yeah, he just spent a month in the San Juan.
Yeah, so that's what I think people are missing.
That dude's ready.
Yeah, you got to be.
Yeah.
But again, I think, and we'll go that. So that was a ladies' race.
So go to the pickles.
So to the dudes' side, man, that's there.
Who dropped out? Anybody?
Yes, one of your guys.
Dang.
No, not one of your guys, but I know you talked about it. Who dropped? Andrew Miller dropped out.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought he was hurt.
Yeah, I don't know why he dropped out, but I know he's not in.
That's too bad.
And I think he's really the only notable not in, and I don't think there are any late additions. Okay. So it's still kind of, everybody's picking it. Okay, well, I will say this. I shouldn't say surprised, but there's tons of people on the Tollefson bandwagon right now.
Yeah.
They're in his corner big time this year.
He's a stud.
Like, nope, Tim's first American, without a doubt.
Right.
He needs more publicity than some other Americans that are there.
Right.
But he's really garnering a lot, but it's crazy all over the board because, you have Killian, Jim, which we've talked about,
right.
Tollefson, Professor X.
Alberto.
I mean, people are all over the board with this. I mean, It's really surprising. A lot of people are like, okay, after Killian, it's going to be this.
Right.
Like some people just have him as a lock.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Ryan Sands, Mark Hammond from here.
Man, so many
amazing runners. And some are going to blow up because that's just the nature of the beast over there. But, yeah, it's just unbelievable. Timothy Olsen kind of making his stamp,
No.
I don't think he's going to finish.
I'm going to say not even top 20 for him.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see him do well.
His time's come and gone for stuff like that.
Yeah, but it's.
But if we get surprised, awesome. But
no, for sure. Yeah, I mean, if you have,
I'll go top 50. How's that?
That works.
There we go.
Yeah, I would have a hard time saying top 20 right now.
Right.
Just with seeing people, but again, you never know, right?
Yeah, I know.
Anybody can have. I've never had one of those days, but I heard about them once.
Right.
Watched a documentary on them once.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, lots of fast dudes, and I think the women's side, my opinion is it's wide open.
Right.
It's wide open.
It is.
And I think on the men's side, I think it's going to be super competitive, the top 12.
Right.
But I still think
on the women's side, I think it's going to be really competitive. That top 5.
Yeah, I think that you'll see a slough off in time a little bit there.
And then there'll be another group that's going to be really, really competitive.
But yeah, on the men's side, I'm excited. I just wish we'd to talk to Killian to get his mindset going in. I just want him to go out and just go for it. Can you imagine him with a Walmsley mentality?
Oh, man.
You know what I mean? Because he's always just kind of so low-key and chill and likes to run with people in big races.
Yeah, exactly.
But if he went into UTMB with a Walmsley mentality,
right?
I'm going out to set a course record.
Yeah.
But he went in that way, and then I think he would be phenomenal.
Like he's not already, right?
Well, he'd be like a totally different level.
Yeah.
He'd take over dashboard Jesus on my bobblehead on the car, But I mean, I'm sure he does that in his head a little bit. He's just not. He doesn't vocalize it.
Right.
Like
exactly.
Walmsley just comes out and says it. Hey, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah, he didn't this year though.
He didn't?
No, I don't think so.
So I heard somewhere in one of these chat spots that someone was really turned off by him because of an interview he did. So I don't know. I didn't watch any
recently or an old one?
No, recently for the UTMB.
Oh, okay.
He just went in kind of arrogant, acted super arrogant about it. And I'm like, well, do you know him? I mean, was he being arrogant or is he just kind of just saying it how it is?
That dude's pretty confident.
Yeah,
that's
so that's
different than arrogant.
And that's the same with Hayden. When we talked to him the one time on the podcast, he's just confident. It wasn't arrogance. It was just knows his abilities and expects something out of his abilities. So either way, this is going to be a hell of a race this weekend.
It'll be exciting.
So
best of luck to the local gal, Tara Warren.
Yep, our little friend from here.
Yeah, she's going over.
Yep,
have some fun.
Hopefully. Hope she has a good time. Takes
she'll have fun.
A few pictures.
She's good at taking pictures.
So when does UTMB start? Is it Friday, Saturday?
I think it's Friday evening.
Okay. Because I have a tattoo. My final tattoo appointment's Sunday.
Gotcha.
So
it'll be all wrapped up by then.
All right. That's all I need to know. I don't want to be sitting there hoping I get service.
Refreshing your Twitter feed.
Yeah. So this is what's funny. So this tattoo started in April. Yeah, it was supposed to be done in May.
Yeah.
And then it got pushed back, and I wanted it done by my birthday in July. It wasn't done.
Nope.
He finally got on the schedule yesterday at 1 o'clock.
Gotcha.
Super pumped. Got all my ducks in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Showed up in the parking lot. I texted him on Monday.
Yeah.
No reply.
Yeah.
Called him.
Right.
Mailbox full. Typical. I know the dude.
Yeah.
Tuesday, text him, hey, we're still on for 1 o'clock today. No reply. So I show up at 1 o'clock. At 1:05, I get a phone call from him. He's like, hey, man. Hey, sorry, I'm traveling right now. He's not even in the state.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, sorry, something came up and I had to jump on it, and I totally forgot to call you.
Uh-huh.
Can we reschedule? I'm like, oh, my hell.
I know.
So I'm like, when? I want this done.
Yeah.
So we scheduled for Sunday at noon. So I'm really hoping this is it.
All right, fingers crossed for you.
Because after this one, this guy's amazing. Love his work. But after this one, if I did get another one, I'm going somewhere else.
I hear you.
I can't wait this long.
No.
Healing and waiting and healing and waiting.
Right.
It ain't working for me. So, yeah, that's kind of UTMB. Love to hear your thoughts when this posts on Thursday, August 30th, or even Friday. But you got to post your thoughts before people finish. That's just cheating.
They can post afterwards and say, see?
Yeah, see, I was right if I would have posted a week ago.
Yeah, that's okay.
Because we don't know it all. But we have our inside sources.
Right.
We have, waiters and baristas all over this country that, got the inside source on people. But, yeah, I think UTMB is going to be we've said it before, but every race, these big ones just seem to get better and more competitive.
Yeah.
More competitive, except for maybe Hard Rock this year, which we talked about.
Yeah, that's
wasn't
the
as
nature
deep.
of it.
Yeah, but like Western States was so hubbubbed, and now you've got
Right.
even like TDS, OCC, CCC, Frerix is over there.
Yeah.
It's just big fields with anything can happen. So depending on, we haven't even talked about weather really, because that could throw a wrench in everything.
That's the biggest factor.
Especially with all the gear they make you take.
I know.
There's locked down. I saw some pictures of people with gear. It just cracked me up. I'm like, there's some people aren't used to that. I know. Even we saw a photo from Power Stash. Right. Is he doing OCC or CCC?
I think he's doing CCC.
One of those, and he's taking a bunch of gear he's not used to.
Right.
It's like, this is all the stuff I need.
The Tour de Gens is coming up soon.
Oh, yeah.
Luke Nelson's going over to run that.
Is he?
Yeah.
Tour de
Gents?
Yeah, Tour de Gents or whatever. Yeah, so that's another one. So, I don't know, maybe I'm going to have to, go over and spend next summer over there. Mm. Just like, right out of high school, what you do before college. Just waited.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, that was kind of it for UTMB. A lot of other races, like we said, are coming up. Wasatch is coming up, which I'm really hoping. I haven't looked at the start list, but I want Trevor Fuchs to win it.
Yeah, he knows the course.
But he'd get the turkey. That's 3 years in a row. That's just cool.
That would be
I don't know who's running it, but he
should retire
my
after
guy.
that.
Yeah,
I'm done.
I'm
done with
this
this race.
Boom. I'll stick to the Gib Wallace races.
Right.
But yeah, I'm really hoping that Trevor pulls the win out of this one. He looked good at El Vaquero, coming off some surgery of some sort.
Hernia.
And he got into hurt again.
Broke his leg or something too. I don't know.
Yeah, and he got into the hurt in January again.
He's rather excited about that.
So hopefully he wins this, takes some time off.
Right. Tapers up for the hurt.
And doesn't have any missile crises over there, and goes to crush it. So yeah, there's just a lot of good ones, a lot of good races going on. It's that time of year, and when we recorded this show, and the reason we did it, we didn't have the women's top 3 for TDS. Or was that the one? Yeah, TDS. We had the men's, but we hadn't seen an update on the women's yet.
No, Rory Bozzio's in second place as of this time, but we're recording it.
Which is super cool.
Right.
Yeah, next weekend is I think CCC, and that one's got Cody Reed,
Power Stash,
Jorge Maravilla out of California, and some fast ladies, Cecilia Flori from Italy. She's crushing it. Ida Nelson's in that one. Lots of stuff. We'll talk about those next week.
Right.
Camille Herron's name is still on the entry list.
For what?
For CCC.
Oh,
but she is not really running, I guess.
Yeah, I hope not.
Her name's still on there, so that makes me think.
If she just straight up showed up and won that, that would be so gangster.
Yeah, it would. You're like, come on, Nike, just give her own shoe now.
Yeah.
Because that's pretty funny. But, yeah, she's and then the OCC, you know me. That's where Tim Frerix is in. I think he'll come out with the win on that one.
Yeah.
Because it's Tim Frerix. On the women's side, though, they've got Lucy Bartholomew, Ruth Croft. So there's some Kelly Wolf, Andrea Huser. She dropped from UTMB to run that one.
Charlie, that girl was up in
McKee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brigham City. She's racing it.
Yep, she is.
She could go podium easily.
Yeah, she could. She's running good.
She's fast.
And she just enjoys what she does, man.
Yep.
Everything's fun, right?
Yeah.
And our friend Derek will be taking photos.
Yeah,
so
of course he will.
Work. So anyway, that's kind of the happenings, the ramblings from that. We'll jump into, let's do our Strava week.
All right.
We'll do a Woody Footy, which kills me.
Okay.
It's my week, and then we will get into an Ask TrailManners.
All right.
We got one question this week. No closing quote, so thanks, TrailManners listeners, for staying on top of that for me. Last week in Strava, our week leaders have 508 members on our TrailManners Strava page.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew Smith, 91.7 miles. Total run time, Andrea McAfee, 21:04. Hung out with her a little bit, got a selfie with her at El Vaquero.
Right on.
Climbing, Sarah McCloskey.
Oh.
21:634.
Dang.
Right behind her, Erin Hill. 21:081. Just 500 feet.
I thought she was tapering.
Just 500 feet. And then Andrea McAfee, 21:018.
Wow.
So all these three ladies, 21,000 feet.
Crushing it.
So they're nailing it. Okay, so this week for Woody Footy, I think there was an issue with Facebook. It wasn't us, because it looked like people were having a hard time posting photos.
Something was going on.
We don't run Facebook.
No.
I put a call in, and I paged on my beeper Mark Zuckerberg.
Nothing back yet.
I haven't heard anything back from him. But some awesome photos. Sarah Ohm, she ran the MCC.
That's right.
In some country over there. Had some great photos. What were some? Okay, so there's some really good ones. Andrew Giles had another good one. But I had a face off because I couldn't decide. Right.
Between your heritage and the USA.
It was tough. I mean, we had some previews of the Bear 100 course.
Oh, yeah.
We had
Can't go wrong
people
with that.
from New York. I mean, we had pictures from all over again. New York, Montana.
Right.
Where was New Hampshire? South Korea. That picture never showed up from Randall Clare. But he was in a place in South Korea, which is our first South Korea one, I believe.
I think so, too.
Oregon, Kentucky, which I don't remember seeing a Kentucky one before. And we could have.
Maybe Red River Gorge.
It's been a while.
Not sure.
Of course, we always get some Canada and Alberta there.
Right.
Vermont, rugged Dartmoor. No picture, but Dartmoor. I think that's in England, right?
Sure.
Moor. That's English.
Sounds cool.
Yeah, really cool. New Hampshire. So this week went. So here's my two finalists.
Okay.
I'm just going to name the finalists because they both need a for sure shout out.
All right.
The first one I came across that was my finalist was from Pete Faulkner.
All right.
Okay, Pete is he's on mountain running in Brecon Beacons Wells.
Okay.
Super rad photo, and he's sitting out on this rock. And Wells is my heritage.
Right.
So right away, I'm like, I think this
You're
got to
biased right away.
I was, and I'm like, that's our first picture from Wells
that
I can remember. So I'm like, all right, that's super rad. But then someone snuck in and threw one out there, and I immediately went, I want to be there right now.
Gotcha.
Like, where's my sleeping bag?
That's usually the criteria
for
the winner.
So this one is from, where was it? Because the way these posts came out. Yep, it was. It was from Stillwater Trail in Nye, Montana.
Okay.
Jessica, I apologize if I get your name wrong, Jessica Torgerson-Lundin. It's got the trinity of and more. It's got trees, water, mountains, and then we'll throw in after the trinity in parentheses got dirt.
Gotcha.
Trails. It's super rad. Just a cool, like be a good screensaver type thing. So Jessica Torgerson-Lundin, you are the winner of the Woody Footy contest this week. So please go ahead and email me, manners@trailmanners.com, your shipping address, and we'll get that right out to you because that was a home run, man. That was beautiful. But there's a ton of them again.
Right.
You guys are lucky you don't have to decide. It'd be good one week to have a vote, I think, just to let people know how hard it is.
Yeah, no.
As many likes as each get. That was I know one time we did one, and that was my breaking criteria. Okay, like I said, no closing quote this week, so thanks again.
But we have a question, right?
We do have a question. This comes from Jen in Missoula, Montana, so Montana bookends this.
Nice.
And I like the question, which is going to be not easy answer, and I didn't send it to Joel.
Nope, I like that.
With weather getting ready to change, what is your favorite time of year to run and why?
Oh, man. That's tough.
So the first thing that pops in my head before I think,
right?
Because that's how I've done this question in my head 3 or 4 times.
Okay.
First thing that pops in my head, fall. For reasons of, I leave the heat.
Yeah.
It's cooler.
Right.
So that's kind of the same thing. The colors change.
Yep.
And it's just this nice. It's almost like winding down, right?
There's this relief in the air.
It's almost like celebratory.
Yeah.
But it's the colors, it's the temperature. I love rain.
Yeah. If it would ever rain here.
Yeah, but I think that's why I think fall. I mean, it's fall colors. It's August, and I've seen some fall colors because it's so damn dry.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think fall is my favorite time.
Mm-hmm.
But then I could also look at it and go, spring's cool because I'm out of winter now.
Right.
You know,
Good point.
It's fresh smelling. The air's clearing up from the bad winter. You're getting on dirt, which gets me excited. It's a new year.
Yep.
So that's what's hard. But I'm going to go with fall because of the temperature change.
Right.
I love the colors. That's just my favorite thing. That's what I'm going with is fall. I'm not a summer. I know it's not summer or winter. I know that.
Right.
My favorite time and why. Summer sucks. It's too hot. Winter, it's cold and snowy.
Cold and snowy.
There we go.
I think every season has a little bit of something that I really enjoy.
Okay.
How's that? I agree with you totally on the fall autumn thing. There's a certain smell in the fall that you just don't get the rest of the year, right? Spring, same thing. There's this newness in the air.
Yeah.
There's hero dirt to run on, right? It's fun. Summer's got just sometimes it's super rewarding.
Okay, that's the one I was waiting for you to say because I'm trying to find something positive about summer.
I mean, you can get up high in the mountains, right?
Okay.
And
I think
it's fun. It's fun. It's you see the accumulation of work that you've done winter and spring, and then you kind of put it forth in the summertime.
Okay.
You got longer days to train.
I was going to say summer is we run early, so we don't have to wear a headlamp. That's my summer thing.
Wintertime, there's days where it's just fun.
Yeah,
like running on snow. You know, sometimes it's so fun to run on packed snow trails.
Yeah.
It could be fun. And then there's most of the time you're just like, this stinks.
Let's go to St. George.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, when it's winter and you get that snow flurry that's not wet to run in, I like that a lot.
I do too.
But yeah, I'm Jen, I'm going with fall.
Yeah, me too. It's always been my favorite season since I was a little toddler.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I think fall is. So, I don't know. Being in Missoula, it might be spring for you guys because you have such heavy, long winter. Maybe or colder.
I'm going to say fall too. I think she likes fall. She strikes me as a fall gal.
I think overall, I would. If we did a poll, I think fall would win.
I think so too.
Just because, knowing trail runners, right? They love mountains, but the colors are so vibrant.
Right.
I think it's a good time for air quality because we have like fire in the summer, crap in the winter.
Right.
Spring is as well. But yeah, I think fall. Fall's my go-to.
All right.
Fall's my let's have fall all year round almost of the time. I'll travel to fall. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the week. I don't have anything else. Pacing at Wasatch, but that'll be next week. Mm-hmm. It's Labor Day weekend, so you got a 3-day weekend coming up.
Yep. For
most people, so hope you have that. And I think that's it.
I don't have anything else.
All right, so thanks for listening to the podcast. This is Aric and Joel, Singletrack Session here, number 103, and we are out.